my dears, in love and light. How to perform lucid dreaming, the methods I use. Now, lucid dreaming is where you're aware you're dreaming during a dream. It can be easily confused with vivid dreams, and that's having a particularly, vivid dream that's very bright and memorable and seems very real indeed. But a lucid dream is where, while you're dreaming, you suddenly think, wait a minute, this is a dream. Oh wow, I can now manipulate this dream. Or it helps you to remember your dream as well. So lucid dreaming is a really handy trick to use in spiritual work, because while we're in the dreaming realm, as it were, we have an interesting handle on that reality. As we know, we can manifest things in the dream state. Thoughts become reality, therefore thought forms become reality. So you can change something, you can put a road where there wasn't one, or manifest an object where it wasn't there before. Because in the dream state, thoughts become reality. So when you're aware you're dreaming and not immersed in it, being swept up in everything that's going on, if you're aware you're dreaming, you can take control. Now, just before I give you method 1, the whole point here is to get the conscious mind to come online while we are in a totally subconscious state. As we're going to sleep, our conscious mind starts to switch off. That's your working everyday you, the thought processor, the mind in the driving state, the you, if you will. And the subconscious is the deeper, vast you that holds all your memories and emotions and programs for how you deal with reality. And your subconscious is online while you're dreaming, and your conscious mind is not. And that is why when your conscious mind comes online, it can't directly remember what your dreams were about, because it wasn't online. When it comes online, we need to bridge that gap between subconscious and conscious. And that's why it's important to write down your dreams straight away as soon as you remember them, so the conscious mind can grab it off the subconscious and remember it there, and then write it down before it dissipates deep into the subconscious again. So when we're lucid dreaming, the conscious mind needs to come online a little bit, and that is the aware you, the human you in this lifetime. If the conscious mind comes online, you in this lifetime, the aware you, is online and knows that this is a dream. Now, when we're trying to lucid dream, sometimes it's hard. If you give yourself a task to do that will help trigger a lucid dream, it's hard to remember to do that task. So we can go directly for the triggers. So method 1, use your recurring dreams to trigger you. So looking at your dream journal, your dream diary, what are your recurring dreams and how often you have them? If you have a recurring dream that happens, let's say once a week or once every 2 weeks, you can choose that recurring dream to be your trigger. So for me, when I see a train or a train station I use, that means I am dreaming. So I have trained my mind consciously to tell my subconscious that when I see a train station, that must mean I'm dreaming, and to think again. So what you would do in that case is create a sentence and say, when I see a train station, I am dreaming. So several times during the day, probably 4 instances during the day, I'll repeat about 5 times, when I see a train station, I am dreaming. And then before bed, I repeat it some more. When I see a train station, I am dreaming. Now this is programming the subconscious, which is what we want, through repetition. So when we go to sleep and start dreaming, when I see a train station, that will trigger me to question whether this is a dream or not. So you can do the same thing, look at your journal and see what your recurring dreams are, and pick one of those or more than one of those to program the subconscious mind to trigger you to question whether you are in a dream or not. And it only takes a millisecond to realise I'm in a dream, and then you're in control. Now sometimes you can then get immersed in the dream again and start to forget you're dreaming and swept up again. So then during the dream you want to practice more and more trying to hold on to that thought that this is a dream. I am lucid. Method number 2 to help you to perform lucid dreaming is another trigger method. This is where if you can't find a pattern in your dreams, recurring dreams that you can use as a trigger, you can use other triggers that are more everyday. Now this is a little more difficult because everyday items that we see them often, and in a dream we might not see them. So for example, if I was to see a pair of shoes or a tree, I might ask myself, am I dreaming? So every time you see your hand, you can ask yourself, am I dreaming? Every time I see a tree, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Now do this in your daily life, and this helps to train the brain to ask the question when it sees that object, am I dreaming? So that hopefully when you go to sleep and you happen to see one of those objects, you ask yourself, you're triggered to ask yourself, in the dreaming state, am I dreaming? So if you were to trigger yourself to ask, am I dreaming, when you see the moon, you would hope that you would see the moon in your dream and ask, am I dreaming? And at that point, asking the question, am I dreaming? By looking around and figuring out the environment you're in, you can easily tell you're dreaming. So just to summarise, pick some everyday objects that you feel you're likely to see in your dreams. And when you see them in your day-to-day life, ask yourself, am I dreaming? And then hopefully that will train the subconscious to ask those same questions while you're dreaming, and then that will potentially create lucidity. Method number 3, time intervals questioning. So here, a time interval will be our trigger. So, in the days before you're planning to do this lucid dreaming, say 2 or 3 days to train the subconscious mind, every 5 or 10 minutes or so, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Now, use your body clock for this, because obviously during a dream you're going to be using your body clock, because the watch on your wrist, it's not going to be a real watch, is it? It's going to be manifested by your mind. So, using your internal body clock, every 5 to 10 minutes or so, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Now, this should train the subconscious to, during dream time, be used to asking the same question every 5 or 10 minutes or so, am I dreaming? Number 4, programming the subconscious mind through repetitious commands. So before bed every night, you need to repeat to yourself, now remembering the subconscious is programmed through repetition, repeat to yourself, I am aware while dreaming. I use the word aware because the word lucid doesn't hold such strong meaning for me. Being aware or awareness does. So I say, I am aware while dreaming. I am aware while dreaming. Now this programming needs to be done in the present tense because the subconscious works in the present tense only. It doesn't work in past or future tenses. So you can't say, I will lucid dream or I am going to lucid dream, because it will always be in the future, it won't be in the present. You need to say it in the present tense. So, I am lucid while dreaming, or I am aware while dreaming. So the subconscious accepts that as a command, a state of being. I am this while dreaming. So when you start to dream, and your subconscious knows what dreaming is, so as you start to dream, your subconscious will enact that command and create awareness while dreaming. So I am aware while dreaming, but not I am going to lucid dream or I will lucid dream. Must be present tense. So say this about 10 times or so before bed every night and give it maybe a week or so. Let that command sink into the subconscious and hopefully you might spontaneously become lucid while dreaming. It's all brain training, just like remembering your dreams, becoming lucid in dreams. You need to tell the subconscious what you're wanting, what you want to do, and then just like a magic genie in a lamp, your wish is my command, it says. You just need to let it know repetitiously and in a friendly manner. So that's been how to perform lucid dreaming, the methods I use. Now I tend to use the first method, the triggers in my recurring dreams, because I have these recurring dreams. But if you don't, then you could try some of the other methods. I wish you wonderful lucid dreams. Our consciousness is away during dream time. It's not focused in the human body, and dreams may seem strange, but through lucidity you can gain more control and have more interesting experiences and bring them back with you in the morning. Let me and others know in the comments section methods that you find useful to help you to lucid dream. And don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Like and share also because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.